Hi, everyone. This live has been set to private and will later be determined as to whether it will be published on my channel. Chicken on a Stick reached out to me and asked if I would give her a platform in which to speak, and I agreed. I want to make it clear that I am in no way involved with what has gone on in the past or may come in the future regarding Jody Sue Brown, Chris Sims, or Chicken on a Stick. I am merely giving her a platform in which to speak, as she does not have a channel. Welcome, Chicken on a Stick. You've got the floor, honey.
Thank you so much, Sage. Okay, I thought maybe I could possibly reach out to Crystal and say, hey, the last live that you did, you said my full name. That's doxing me again. Could you please not do that? I'm not discouraging you to not look into anyone. Like everyone's on the table. But with me, I don't know if you've got me confused with something else. I'm not sure. Also, you stated that you had a 3 hour recording with Jody Sue about, plots to take me down. I would like to be privy to that if that's at all possible. To the best of my knowledge, Jody Sue never had an attorney. Um, no YouTuber made me file a suit against you or Jody. It's the harassment online. That's why I filed a suit. I'm not a YouTuber. I just have a regular life and I have businesses. So I have to protect my own rights. Um, if you have a recording also of the red truck or whoever was driving it, I highly suggest you turn that into law enforcement. That's basically it. I mean, I would like to, I wish that I could, talk to you, but it hasn't worked out to this point. I know you believe I'm related to Squall. I don't know who Squall is. You're putting me with Marlena Crawford. I don't know who she is. Perhaps we are related because almost everyone out there is, but she's either younger than me or older than me. I don't know her. And she probably went to, I'm assuming, Hawkins County schools because I was on the Sullivan County line, not 3 trailers down by Fred Hill. And I had to breed to get myself out of the holler, but off of Lone Star Road. And just to make that perfectly clear, I left out there 98, 99. I did not live in that area again. So the things that have been said about that, I don't appreciate that either. Um, that's really all I have to say.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll end this broadcast, and whenever you feel comfortable, if you want me to publish it on my channel so that others can hear it, reach out to me in Messenger and let me know. I don't want
never met them, but are they
Yes,
okay?
yes,
Oh,
she is
wow.
okay. Absolutely okay. Chicken on a stick is let her up. She knows
Okay.
Jody Sue and
Yeah,
Andy before
definitely.
summer witnessing. And
And
she
Chicken
is
on a
the
hey,
stick
one
rocks.
she is the one
She
that
does, Scott.
she yeah, but bring her on up.
okay, hey, chicken on a stick, could you just real quick show your face just so I don't get porn bombed?
Good move. Thank you, everybody in chat too.
So I just got timed out over in Killers. Let me show y'all. Chicken on a Stick is holding a wrench in Killers. Alexandria Nicholas is, in my opinion, chicken on a stick. I've proved that. I've showed it. You seen Shay in Killers this morning. Starting to have a lot of fucking questions here, right? Distractions from the people are pointing at, people holding wrenches and killers. I'm getting timed out for no reason because I asked Alexandria about the backpack and then asked Killer to have her come on his channel and show her face because she claims that that's not her. It is. In my opinion, let me make sure I state that. From past comments the witch has left me, from comments she's left Jody Sue, she's pretty much told me she goes under 2 names that are similar. Okay? I put a link out there. You just heard her on Sage say, I would like to have a conversation with Crystal. I've offered Chicken on a Stick a link 1,000,000 times. I'm doing it once more. I know we have our lawsuit shit. However, Shay had brought out that you found a backpack on Light Hauler Road. It was mentioned on Sage. Did y'all see Sage deleted everything? She has her community posts up. Her playlist is just music. Nothing else. Why is that? Yes. I ask questions and I get timed out. So, I mean, if any of these creators are really here for summer, they would allow the questions, right? If they want answers just as much as anybody else, they would allow the questions. Alexandria, Amanda, Chicken on a Stick, whatever the fuck you go by today, please grab a link. Number 1, I want to see your face. Number 2, I want to hear about the fucking backpack found on Light Hauler. So, I don't know what I'm showing here, but we are going to go here and let's see, where are we at? I got so many of the same damn thing. Why? Okay, what's this? Oh, that's not it. That's the actual chicken video. Let's get rid of that. We're not going there again. All right, we'll just listen to chicken here till I can find something I'm looking for.
Never met them, but are they okay?
Yes,
Oh,
she is
wow.
okay. Absolutely okay. Chicken on a Stick is let her up. She knows
Okay.
Jody Sue and
Yeah,
Andy before
definitely.
Summer Witnessing. And
And
she
Chicken
is
on a
the
Stick
one
rocks.
she is the one
She
that
does, Scott.
she yeah, but bring her on up.
okay, hey, Chicken on a Stick, could you just real quick show your face just so I don't get porn bombed?
Good move. Thank you everybody in chat too for being so good. We've got over 950 people in here.
Yeah.
Moderators, y'all are doing a
Let
great
me-
job. Thank you
I've
all.
been making mods as we go along. Gavel Geek, I added you
Where
as
did
a
my
as a
phone
mod.
go? What I do with my phone? If I find my phone, I'll make sure it's her. I found it.
Yeah, because they're not showing their face. Chicken on a Stick isn't
She
showing their
might not be
face.
able to. I'm gonna ask her.
Just
She's
make
like,
sure
she
it's
done that. She
her.
already said, "Do you want me to come on?" And I'm gonna say, "Are you backstage?" I think that might be her because she says, "Do you want me to come on?"
Well, we'll
I
just
know
make
the very
sure first,
beginning that
because this is an important live, and I don't want to have to take it down if I
Yeah,
get porn bombed.
At 10:06, she messaged, "Do you want me to come on?" But she might have the StreamYard up on her phone to where she can't get to her messenger.
She said it's me, but I can't tell by just hey, chicken on a
Okay,
stick.
I'm gonna put a number in my messenger to you, chicken on a stick, and if you will put that in backstage.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then once we confirm it's her. Oh,
Just
she's
go in
gone
and
now.
oh, come
She's
back
gone.
up.
Darn it. I hope that she doesn't think that I was
Drop her a
being.
link again.
Oh, there she is. She came back up. Think that I was
Drop her a
being.
link again.
Oh, there she is. She came back up.
Yeah, she might have not been able to see the messenger. She may have had to close out to see the number in messenger.
Oh. Okay. Well, she put something in private chat. What'd she put? She said it's me, Squall, but still that doesn't. Well, once Squall confirms that it's her, I'll put her on. I'm sorry, chicken on a stick. I'm not trying to be rude. No, I just wanted you to show your face behind,
Yeah,
like
just
before I put
for
you
1
on the
second, and then
screen.
she won't put you on screen till you take it off.
Yeah. Oh, she can't go to.
just showing a few things as I find them. Chicken, Alexandria, Amanda, grab a link, please. You've stated that you've wanted to speak to me. I'm offering that to you right now. Since Shay won't release the recording because it's me asking for it, she states, I would like you to come up here and tell everybody about the backpack that you found. Shay, do you want to come tell us about it? Lots of people are listening. You were all here for summer, right? All the shit you people stir, right? Who contacted you? Who from Jody Sue's friends contacted you, Alexandria Nicholas? I'm going to find the other screenshots too. I just have to go to my shared with me folder. Because it's there. Who of Jody Sue's friends contacted you on Facebook? Please come up here and grab a link. You keep saying you're not chicken. You're holding wrenches in people's shit. Don't nobody know who you are, right? Come grab a link, please. Hi, Beth. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So, I'm going to go put that video back on. Oops, shit. Hold on. I still have it on from earlier with Quentin, so I apologize. The rest of the video here. Oops. Why is that doing that?
Out to squat.
Here, we'll just put this back on for a second. No, we won't. That's only 9 seconds long.
Hi, everyone. This live has been set to private and will later be determined as to whether it will be published on my channel. Chicken on a Stick reached out to me and asked if I would give her a platform in which to speak, and I agreed. I want to make it clear that I am in no way involved with what has gone on in the past or may come in the future regarding Jody Sue.
What got me riled up? Well, honestly, when you go into a chat and you don't expect people to hold wrenches that are holding wrenches, and then you ask a question and get timed out because you asked a serious question, when you're told to stop by Crimes Has Consequences and so many others, all these creators that want answers for summer, right? They bring the bullshit in and they allow it to sit there. They let it hold wrenches. They let it silence, right? We got this woman who's filing lawsuits that came out against Jody Sue for no reason. Nobody knew who she was. She goes on, she has a live where they're talking about there was a backpack found from a crime 25, 30 years ago on Light Hollow Road that had information from a crime and from Summer Wells that was stated on Sage. Sage deleted that. Now these people are holding wrenches and kill her. I have questions. When you get timed out for asking these people what wrenches, a question with no proof, there has to be more. Especially when you guys are all here for summer, right? So since I was timed out, we're going to go the petty way. And we're going to play as much chicken on a stick as we can. I got questions, killer. Why is chicken on a stick holding a wrench in your chat?
Chris Sims or Chicken on a Stick. I am merely giving her a platform in which to speak, as she does not have a channel. Welcome, Chicken on a Stick. You've got the floor, honey.
Thank you so much, Sage. Okay, I thought maybe I could possibly reach out to Crystal and say, hey, the last live that you did, You said my full name. That's doxing me again. Could you please not do that? I'm not discouraging you to not look into anyone. Like, everyone's on the table. But with me, I don't know if you've got me confused with something else. I'm not sure. Also, you stated that you had a 3-hour recording with Jody Sue about, plots to take me down. I would like to be privy to that, if that's at all possible. To the best of my knowledge, Jody Sue never had an attorney. No YouTuber made me file a suit against you or Jody. It's the harassment online. That's why I filed a suit. I'm not a
Okay. No, she's under, I'm sorry, I spelled that all wrong. Alexandria Nicholas. My keyboard is a mess and I don't know why it does that. She's under Alexandria Nicholas. I have screenshots of her telling me that that's her. I'm going to find them. I've showed them before. They're in previous videos. They're in previous lives. I've had it with this fucking game shit these fucking people were playing.
YouTuber. I just have a regular life and I have businesses. So I have to protect my own rights. If you have a recording also of the red truck or whoever was driving it, I highly suggest you turn that into law enforcement. That's basically it. I mean, I wish.
Not one person ever said I had a recording of who was driving the red truck. What I had said, you fucking hooch, in my opinion, is that Jody Sue told me that a red truck belonged to a Crawford. Why are you so interested in that? Would you mind answering that?
Wish that I could, talk to you, but it hasn't worked out to this point.
Here's your chance. Here's your chance, Alexandria, Amanda, Chicken. Here's your chance. Here. Here's your chance. Grab a link. I know you're out there. We see you in Killers. I get timed out over it, right? You're holding a wrench. There you are. Bit strange. Let me go make sure you're not blocked. Hold on. I don't think that I have you blocked. We're going to go show you guys my block list. This person's blocked. Luminous will always be blocked. I don't know who Raven is. Here, we'll give these people a second chance. She don't get a second chance. Here, Shay. Want a link? We'll unblock Tiffany today. Anybody seeing Chicken blocked? Fuck her too, and her. Here, Sage. Them ones stay blocked. Anybody see Chicken on my block list? Come grab a link, bitch. In my opinion. Everything on my channel is based off of my opinion. It is not the opinion of others in my chat. It is a speculation channel. I conversate about crime here. In this case, this woman stated that she found a backpack on Light Hauler Road with a crime from 30 years ago that also, and I don't care about the crime from 30 years ago, but it also held information concerning the Summer Wills case, according to Sage Sleuth and Shay. So I would like that information put out since Jody Sue continuously talks about a backpack. Ellie talks about a backpack. Fred's sister. Fred talks about a backpack. Let's hear about your backpack, chicken. Alexandria. Amanda. Whatever your name is today. Yep. Jody finds one on Chimney Top Loop, takes it to the command station, she says. But then Lady R showed the other day that she said no, it had meth products in it and it was Fred's. Right? Y'all got these stories. Are they true? Or are you just out here making shit up for people? You asked to speak to me. Here's your chance. I've given you several. There's a reason you named yourself Chicken on a Stick. I hope you do a split on it, bitch. In my opinion. All right. Let's go back. I'm going to go to my channel. Hold on a minute. Here's the video Lady R shared the other day. Let's watch it again.
Fred Andy didn't meet no goddamn body on that goddamn road on the fucking 15th. Y'all ever heard Pruitt call Fred a fucking liar? Fred, that goddamn camera had the wrong goddamn day on it. No shit. I knew this for him, y'all fucking did. Stop your shit. Fucking dumbass. Quit your chaos shit. You don't talk about fanning and your setup shit? Fuck you, dude. And talk about Jason's head. Talk about that. Fuck Miro. And fuck you for all the shit you have around me and my kids. And even Monster. Fuck you. You got some balls? I'll drop you a link. We'll have to talk about it, you know, too, Fred. Hey, wait, Fred. Hold on, bitch. I thought I deleted your comment and blocked you from my channel. Oh my goodness, it's weird you're here though, huh? Well, fuck, then talk you and Ziggy night long. You'll catch you in some more match. You got your receipts. But that fuck shit you been playing behind the scenes, their locals and the summer day and all that shit. You wanna talk about some boats? Let's talk about some boats. Talk about some woodboarding. Them trails. You wanna talk about that shit? All the way up down the creek. Hey, we ain't just gonna talk about one or two. We'll talk about the whole goddamn group of them. How about them heads being moved in around the mountains? You wanna talk about that shit? How about that shed, Fred? You wanna talk about that shit? How about the character that's living in it for a while, Fred, and your connections to him? You don't talk about that shit. How about that 313 shit? You done tapping toes with while you were here running them up, stalking the shit out of me and doing fuck shit. All other shit. You want to talk about some shit? We'll talk about some shit. Let's talk about some shit. Let's save myself from what? I ain't got shit to be worried about, motherfucker. I and my children didn't do shit. Not a goddamn thing. We did hear witness. Nothing was your ass. And Laura's coming and go. I guess Laura, right? Coming and going, being hell that day. Guess what time's Fred? Were you truly showing all the cars coming and going on all the cameras? I'm a bet not. You know what things they might truly be looking for, Fred? What you doing, Freddie? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I love you. You know, talk about you pulling up property stakes, cutting off X marks on property shit for certain family members, all kinds of shit, up and down bridges and all this for years, decades even. You don't talk about that shit. You don't talk about you stealing from fleet of shit, backpacks being busted, bullshit. You don't talk about all of that. How about you buddies coming out the goddamn holler and testing camera shit, triggering shit, leading right up to summer vanish and shit. You don't talk about all that shit. Or how that truck coming and going and center hung was all your shit. Let's talk about it. You got some balls yet? Motherfucker really ever like to save yourself. Bitch, I wasn't one so freaked out in the goddamn holler or stayed out of it. I'm a fucking dope queen, right? Who definitely served you better over the decades than this trash ass queen here. But anyway, there's only so many motherfuckers seem real goddamn worried. Can I ask why you and Lord were this deep in all social media and your phones and freaked out stealing? I do. You know. Nope. Them weird ass conversations between you and Dawn. I'm still wondering if Fred here. You know what? Fuck it. If he can explain to me where that child he knows it's taken from the meth lab being moved around the hills is, that looks oddly similar to Summer as he swore they did it right before he started school, but nobody reported it. If he can explain to me why the fuck he didn't report it and where that child is, and if he's reported it now, I'd be cool with just that. Fuck you. When none of us like been freaked out except all y'all. Y'all were all ones being fucking weird. All y'all. And I mean that is all y'all. And there's only 4 of you acting fucking the same way and putting out Chaos Manjillo to the extreme version second hand. And fucking straight up affiliated ways you were mentioned right up until Summer vanished, just being all together and one for all in Knoxville shit too. Boy, you better miss me. Dumb motherfucker. I got some real questions to ask. Let's still get to the bottom of some. Hell, y'all want to powwow about it? What powwow? Go get Monster, go get Laura, go get Fred, go get Candace. No, we'll have a fucking fire. On YouTube about it, sit around and chit-chat, don't too? Shit, maybe we'll get some answers. Fuck, maybe the feds will get some. I ain't scared or all y'all. Let's do it. Let's do it. I got some questions for all you motherfuckers. It's probably why you son of bitches can't find nothing better to do from day one. Swing shit everybody else, especially me and the kids, huh? All y'all got similar to be afraid of. I suppose that can only be half the explanation why we're talking the way we are, especially about young. You fear the only fucking brains and bodies that aren't contaminated all hell enough. Georgia's soaked, tweaked, burnt, fucked up. Ain't even none of y'all's fuck shit over all the years. Yeah, I'd probably fear those types of ears and eyes on the 15th too. Whether or not it's just placeholding for 609 forward or sounds y'all coming and going. Watching you all closely afterwards, your movements in the night and all your all's function. You know, it's okay though. But yeah, if ever any of y'all want to grow balls, have a big powwow about it. I got some real questions for all of y'all. No narratives, no targeting, no bullshit, chaos, mud, jello, need apply. I got your receipts. I'm a wrong bitch. And I always have been. And y'all know I hold the receipts. And I've added quite a few that show y'all to be exactly what I say the fuck you are and do exactly what the fuck you've been doing. Whole damn time, long before Summer vanished and ever since. I'm done with you. Don't fuck with me. You see, I'm gonna bet, Freddie, dear Freddie, that you and the old hag, you know what, and the rest, I just, no, no, I'm gonna zip it. I'm gonna zip it all the fucking way. Hey, I do have a favor. Can you ask the rest of the trash left behind to just go the fuck away? It'd be great. Knock that blue and gold shit off for sure. And the other shit. Very much appreciated. We all know you fucking mind, bro. Hey, how about that resting polygraph results right on summer? And talk about that backpack your sister's talking about? Can we talk about that? Oh, an SD card you said yet. I know we're still waiting, Fred. We're still waiting, buddy. But yeah, you got a new deal the world by you and your buddies from the darkness. We're doing certain fuck shit for weeks leading up to intervention. Testing certain cams and trigger times and shit, you know. Explain that shit, motherfucker. Stealing shit out of mailboxes and weird shit. Supposed vehicles showing up registered to the wrong place. I don't know. How has feeling about.
So now here's another mention of stealing shit. She says out of mailboxes. Laura had stated a stuffed animal was taken, a dog was taken off of their mailbox. So what the fuck is all this about? Why don't you come out and quit rock mumbling words and really state what you mean instead of playing little fucking word jumble salad fucking games? All of y'all.
Buddy.
It was over already. Let's go find, I know where that.
It's back. That's right. 0% financing is.
Let me see something here. Oh, wrong one. I've recently uploaded things. I can't remember what they are. So let's watch.
I thought I'd say a few words about movie watching. Let's talk about the movies you went to. I know sometimes.
Did anybody catch her? This is going to be a little funny. This wasn't nothing important. But let's watch it. Did anybody catch her movie review for Aquaman 2? This wasn't all the way done either. Fuck. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Let's watch Jody Sue giving a movie review. This bitch don't like nothing. Nothing. Nothing makes her happy.
I thought I'd say a few words about movie watching. Let's talk about the movies you went to. I know sometimes there can't be enough said for being able to watch a movie with someone like yourself or who sort of watches movies in the same way. In a way. It's an important thing in life. You have to have similar movie habits. Anyway, I was talking to one earlier in late night snacks. Not everybody was talking snacks. And within like 4 minutes, the pause button's hit, and I'm looking at, is anything not predictable? I'm like, really? So I'm not big on especially TV or movies. I've read the fuck out some cartoons and animated films though. But movies and TV shows and shit, not so much. It's just not my thing. There are some that, still got. Either way, so I get talked into a movie I damn sure didn't want to watch. Like the first one anyway. Finally get talked into watching Aquaman 2. Yep. Nope. Mm-mm. I'm like, shit, what is... No. I'm like, fuck, we're 2 seconds in, and there's all the foreshadowing for the rest of the movie you need at the table it pops. I'm like, damn. Alright. You know? I think it's still friend of the first, and then read it. I think it was, yeah, I was like, goddamn. Turn off that way. But hung in there. Incredibly. But I did. And, yeah, it is what it is. I'd say fun or entertaining, but it's really not. The only way in which I generally get fun or entertainment out of movies like that one in particular by shredding them the entire way, at least myself. The good news is I'm built to where while I'm doing that, I'm generally working other things, and that sometimes that helps separate where I can fiddle with other things I'm, working on. It's been that way throughout my life. Whether it be politics or something I've learned or, or studied or been researching, I'll be doing both things at once, and one distracting the often some stuff. So I'm somewhere around the portion of, I don't know, I couldn't tell you what was the dumbass revisit of like Pirates of the Caribbean, or the walk up that's reminiscent of that with hammerheads, or the scene where it's like, holy shit, is this the cantina, Jabba the Hutt shit, Star Wars, what the fuck is going on? Oh dear. Or if it was somewhere near the portion of the, I don't know, it was awesome. I was like, oh hell, there's some Avatar. Why does this guy look like there's black people? This fucking blatant racism. I don't know. It's like, hold up, we're gonna kidnap the baby right now. The guy said back the baby. Really said that. What the fuck they gotta do that for? Well, fuck this movie. And they really did. They put that baby in a bag. Like, like Baby Bjorn or whatever those things. They exist. Fucks around a few people. It just sounded more, I don't know, entertaining to say that line. Sure did, I guess. Whatever. And then I'm like, why they even gotta have a baby? Where? Why? We're talking about blood over here. Well, they know they could just like walk by like one of the others and be like, oh shit, my fingernail caught you, whoops. Just like a drop that way. Put it where we gotta put it. I mean, did y'all hear rolling that stupid movie about had to be fresh or had to be all like, what the fuck? No. Hell, even the first guy only cut his palm. Oh, you need the whole baby for it. You could have just literally walked Aquaman or something. You got himself on a big squirrel or something. Oh, no. Put it on some shit. But no. Fucking theatrics, man. Extra shit. Just draw some shit out. I'm not big on that shit. Something. I'm broke. But what would they have done if they didn't all that? Right? It's been a pretty short damn film, I guess. I don't know. And then I'm over screaming like, lady, why are you bothering with the big Gatsby stuff? Like, crap, baby, around. Here you go. See, they always got something anymore. Every time I try to watch a movie, film, fucking Minions, whatever, right? Over the last years, it's always something makes me turn it off. I was like, I got a baby in a bag. But I hung in there. I did. I'm like, but wait, that guy just came out of the water. He's wet and Antarctic. He should be dead 5 seconds after. And then they pay the camera and it's dry. Like, okay, I mean, it's something maybe I was thinking about other things, but even still, what? Why is he even out on the? Why is he there? Okay, fuck it. Yeah.
That's pretty much a movie review she gave. But anyways, I clipped some from the same live that Lady Orr did, but I wasn't really listening to it when I clipped it. So let's give it a listen and see why I clipped it, because I'm sure it has something to do with what Lady Orr clipped. The backpack, the meth bag, the kids in the woods, all the same claims that Jody has been making all these years, but then says, no, don't follow what I say. Don't make nothing up, right? It's all made up. You're interfering in Summer's case. Jody, it's this shit that interferes in her case. You are the neighbor of that little girl. But whatever.
Well, obviously, you're very watching.
Hold on, that must be the wrong video. I was fucking around with that. Hold on.
Alright, guys.
I was adding music while she was talking, so I was playing. I wasn't really paying attention. But let's listen, because I'm sure there's more. And if there's not, oh, there's these. Actually, yeah, let's do this. Detach. Let's see what these are
This
about.
thing's carrying on. What the fuck? And then watching it be done on Chris and Katie instead. In real time, which I'd watched in other cases, but for some goddamn bait hard, whatever, you know. But yeah, this thing's carrying on. What the fuck? And then watching it be done on Chris and Katie instead. Yeah, this thing's carrying on. What the fuck? And then watching it be done on Chris and Katie instead. In real time, which I'd watched in other cases, but for some reason, Emma being involved again very openly, and it was very like trigger. It was just like, holy shit, here goes this bitch again. And it was just the way we should have done. And Smiley being part of that cycle, I was like, oh, damn, bro. But yeah, it sure was. It was just something about Sebastian's, man. And more so than the others, I watched them try to let them do things with overlap. Some are so similar. It is the same playbook, but there are other things that just. All you want to do is pick up like a bat signal, like, no, bro, don't, no. And I tried, man, I did. I mean, Chris caught on very quick, which is why him and Katie, you can see he caught on pretty quick. Oh, yeah. But Seth sort of, and I tried to hopefully warn the guy why he couldn't be said I was doing things behind the scenes or anything. But anyway. I don't know. It's all such terrible shit, man. And then watching these same assholes latch onto Leyland Hollings locally. And knowing that they're also using another one of those around us to try to insert around us for a two form because they know that we have ties to multiples. It's pretty fucked up.
So that was why when I was going through this, so you have ties to both of those. So you have ties to Layla, and Layla's missing too, Jody Sue. Would you like to explain that?
And you know, that right there also says something. It always has. But I'll say it again for me, it's time. I even, have known so many throughout so many of these profile cases or cases otherwise locally. I forgot online. I was like, well, YouTube, true crime, news, you know, that shit, bro. And we might comment on news articles or something throughout the years, but nothing. You know, we're like, hey, reporter, you know, I got nothing to say about it. But there were times that read it, I was like, what the fuck? But part of that's how I know Fred was fucking with shit too around that, including everybody on the night that shit went down. And shit created a whole fiasco that still playing out to this day. Fucking dickwad. Whatever. Anyway. It's kind of his thing. He just chaoses the shit out of stuff. Fucking so full of shit. And then you might pick the wrong pebbles up from Foxy Bridges because she probably wouldn't have done that had you not seen certain things around. But well, okay, then because of that. Because shit's wearing you for you. Man, I don't know. It is what it is. But it's like you see one of our local stalkers pick me ass bullshit who's been around here since at least Boswell looks like. I didn't know this bitch. You don't do fuck shit. Apparently stalking us and everything else. She's already trying to be a local pick me in Boswell. Right? Didn't manage that, but I all went woo around this again because my new smack didn't really know anybody. What the fuck is wrong with you, Dag? Right? Anyway, you still have them idiots playing the fuck around over here. Anyway. And this place, yoking them the fuck up real quick among motherfuck shit. Still are. You got some of the worst little fuckers over here. And y'all are aware of this public and what they're doing and getting up to and having people around us.
Jody Sue, as I continue to say, if people are stalking you, why are you not calling the Popo? 50 police. Why aren't you down at the court filing harassment charges, talking to the DA? Will you please quit getting online and lying?
Get up there and it's still some sick ass shit. Fucked up is what it is. I mean, it's like, you know what? I can honestly tell you I've said less public, though I know shit like puzzle and stuff. Said less than Becky with the good hair down there. Because I don't want to see shit fucked up.
I don't know what the fuck that problem is down there, but that's mind boggling. But yeah, I'm not very shit's probably about the same as almost 2 decades ago. Just didn't see it happen down that way. Weird shit. But anyway, the thing is, I know men get murdered,
100% an
unsolved,
evil
nobody don't
energy.
know who did it, all these things.
Same people too.
And last year, certain murders took place, and I had the wrong victim. I was like, oh, that's the other one by the same name. Oh, but the families that was around, how they're connected. And guess where they all lead back to, So it's like, I don't speak on whole great deal about them things. And I like, I need to be famous. I need to be famous. Don't, man. So that's not what I'm here for. Period. Even with any of this either. I don't like being fucked with. I mentioned that. I think I mentioned that.
Because nobody's
My
fucking
idea
with you.
was
You're not being fucked
figure out
with, in my
kind of like
opinion.
shit, how far they've been in and around everything. And what I felt they were doing, her and the community and everything around everything. I felt some type of fucking way about that, and I still do. Damn me hell for that.
Here's another thing too. If it was the whole community being stalked and harassed, don't you think that they would go to the news and tell the news, and the news would report that? Jody Sue, nobody else from your community comes out and says they're being stalked and harassed. You are the only one in that community that does so. Why? I'll tell you who was stalked and harassed. Me. When you and Chicken on a Stick filed that fake ass fucking lawsuit. I want you both to grab a link and tell me about this backpack, since y'all both have a story about a fucking backpack and you're the one that brought it out first. You know what? Let's go to your old videos, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this until we find that fucking video of you with the damn backpack, because I know I have it somewhere in here somewhere. But either way, hold on. It's fun to watch your old shit. Let me shut all these other. Oh, yeah, guys. And before I go on, I know I'm covering summer now and not quitting, but I want to go to Facebook and I want to read something to you guys. I'm not going to share it because I don't want to show names. However, I want to read something to you that Danny's mom posted. I think it's beautiful, and it's worth reading. I'm not a real religious person. You guys know that, but this touched my heart. In Daniel 6:22, Daniel says, "My God knew that I was innocent, and he sent an angel to keep the lions from eating me." Daniel's faith in God kept him from being harmed. Daniel 6:23, throughout your life, there will be some times when things are difficult. You might feel afraid or alone, but God promises to always be with you and to protect you. This doesn't mean that your life will always go smoothly or that bad things won't happen, but God does promise to always be with you and use all things, good and bad, for good in your life. I just wanted to share that with you guys to show you that they're healing. Okay, back to this. Let's go here. Let's see. Why did that change? Guys, I hate all these changes to Canva. I just want you guys to know that. I really do. Okay, where are we at here? Oh, here's some more chicken. Let's listen to this. Grab a link, Alexandria, Nicholas. Chicken on a Stick, Amanda. Again, whatever you go by today.
The DV and all of that,
is not, that's nothing new. And I don't even know how to say that without sounding bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And
Well,
it's
it's
like,
up to you. You know it.
okay, you know, with this Johnny Depp trial going on with Amber Heard and all that, it's not one sided, it's mutual. And it
Right.
always has been. I mean, I believe even if you ask her mother, you know, why would her parents and people allow Andy to go to her brother's funeral if, you know, he was such a bad dude?
So Andy went to her brother's funeral.
He did. He was a pallbearer. That's pretty accurate. Um, and you know, she online, it's like you would think that she was in a safe house somewhere, or you know, the way she portrays it. You know, she's at her mom's house, or you know, at her grandma's property.
Yeah.
She's surrounded by people.
I
I mean,
mean,
she's surrounded by people. You know that. You know her family. So I don't. I just don't. I don't know. It makes me mad. Yeah, she could get herself in trouble. And I'm pretty sure that the police had a talk with her, you know, about that. I think that it was more than that, that she would even go by his parents' house and always with the kids, you know, have the kids go in and ask for money or whatnot. And I don't know. I don't even know if they still have a restraining order or like what the cops have decided, because when both parties, you know, are initiating, that's the problem.
yeah.
Probably because Andy had been avoiding her for so long because he didn't come home for weeks, you know, before Summer went missing. So, you know, that was going on for a long time. I don't know if you remember, if you had access to her Facebook, there was like daily rants about Andy. And I think that she
Yes.
goes down.
Yes.
But she would follow
Those.
me around to, you know, the gas station worked. I think the Waffle House across the street. And it was pretty crazy.
Oh, she just didn't have a driver's license.
She never got one, like until maybe, I don't know, maybe this year.
How does she know all this shit? Jody claims her and her sister don't talk to this girl. The brother had just recently passed away when she came online. How does she know all this shit? Somebody want to explain that? You just come out here. This is her first visit online just to talk shit, right? Acting like you ain't related to them people. Come on, Alexandria, come grab a link. I'm daring you to. Here we go. Hold on, guys. I got all these videos. I think I decided to click on this one. He did say he sent her the DV papers. It was on my panel. But he didn't have no contact with her, is what he said.
Y'all, I'm up. It's obviously late. Just thinking about resting, but it's one of those nights, and I'm waiting on a couple of things to see where the rest of the day is gonna fall. This early on, I know, right? It's late, it's early. Ugh. And then,
That way I can plan my day, hopefully. So, I know when or where to get a start at here shortly. So, anyway, Pickle, would you like to make an appearance, buddy? I don't know what Pickle is. You know. Pickle, you okay? Hi. Hello. Hello, love. Hello. Hello. I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Yeah, I'm Pickle. And I love you, Mama. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, Pickle, do you want to fly? She's gonna find a way. But yeah, still up, but I was hoping to actually have a nap. Yeah, I feel okay, but I feel pretty bad. Yeah, but for me, motel's new. And
That's for sure. So these videos were taken not long after she moved into the trailer out of 125 Ben Hill. I want to say these are like November, December, Christmas, Thanksgiving time. I don't know what's on them. This week I am on a hunt for 2 videos. The one with ICU stomping her sign, and the other one is Jody Sue talking about the backpack. I know I have both. They're just a mess. So that's where we're at tonight. That's what we're looking for. The first conversation Jody Sue had about the backpack. It was a brown backpack that she had found on Chimney Top Loop. I know I have it. I've talked about it on my first channel before I deleted it. And we're back to it since she keeps bringing it up. And then we got Chicken on a Stick playing games over in Killer's chat with a fucking Grinch. I'm curious. Killer gets on her and says, people accused me of things being green eyes, this, that, and the other. Well, then you have some fuck shit going on over there, like Chicken on a Stick holding a wrench. So, Killer, that's why people have those questions. Just saying. But if you guys want to bear with me, we can watch a little bit of one of these videos tonight and figure out where the hell this video is about the backpack. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to fucking find it.
I was trying to figure out which way the day was gonna go. And is and can go. And what times it ought to start going. That depends on here in a few minutes. So, and then I might get small maybe.
The question is, have any of you told the police about a backpack? Since you all have one. Backpack.
You're just staring on for an
Yeah, I started out
existential
playing board.
crisis. Are you okay, buddy? I love you. My cat's having a moment, guys. A moment. Is it a little front paw? Do you see it?
Where is it, by the way? That cat just disappeared. Now she has a new one she's tormenting. Anybody remember Elmira? Elmira the Bugs Bunny? Jody Sue's Elmira. I'm gonna love you and hug you and squeeze you and torture you and torment you.
Just waiting for the next few minutes to figure out the plan of attack for the day, right? And here I was thinking Monday was going to be normal. But leave my hair down alone. Gosh, get your own hair dye, people.
And now she's
She's like,
chasing
I have
waterfalls in the
about
woods.
400 years, but they're not as good as this one. Somewhere in her Slim Jim toy pile. Just know it. Anyway. Yeah. Once again, we're just kind of hanging out waiting. And also listening to the last of the.
Here's my problem. Dawn drives the chimney top loop. Tim Mullen talks an awful lot about chimney top loop. TT sends me images of a black Ford Ranger. Jeremy Pell talks about a black Ford Ranger. Fred's father owned a black Ford Ranger. I get the picture of the black Ford Ranger on chimney top loop from TT. Jody Sue claims she found this backpack on chimney top loop. Why? Why do they keep going back to chimney top loop? All of them. That's a problem to me. There's something up there. Why would Dawn drive that when it's not even his route home? It has nothing to do with the day Summer went missing. Yet they're all searching chimney top loop. I'd like that answered.
Night, so bullshit rolling in like low tide or some shit, right? I'm like, spare me any more tragedy, Pimpville bullshit. Not gonna happen, I don't guess. For the norms and the neighbors, and the community, and the friends, and whatever that aren't playing this particular litter box in Jurassic Park. Here till tonight.
You're Jurassic Park.
Bullshit rebuttal. There's now an imaginary phone call that took place.
You're the one bringing birds into your house.
There's also he supposedly begging somebody not to say something. I'm like, that never happened.
Do you know birds are closely related to dinosaurs? That's where they come from. Did you learn that in science? Did you learn about the anatomy of birds, Jody Sue? You're fucking Jurassic Park. Go climb in them woods and find some more fucking wild animals, you wild bitch, in my opinion.
There's all kinds of things being said tonight. Never happened. So I guess tomorrow we get to spend and not raised right. And, here's your sign mode. Because I'm real done with bullshit. And people thinking they can just say whatever the hell they want. Especially when connected with my name and making freaking money off of it. Like, I'm not gonna be your drama. Better miss me. And I think there was a several night, obviously, like usual with my name, rolling in their titles. Like fucking Adele, just rolling in the deep. Which has been kind of slow the past couple months, quite honestly. You know, because for about a week now, they've had another.
You mean the way you use Summer's name to make money? You wouldn't be here without Summer, right? See, as creators, we might be here. I might have started my channel with a whole nother case. Because that's what we are. True crime. That's what we talk about here. You, on the other hand, came here for the sole purpose of making money off of Summer's back as her neighbor, a babysitter, according to you, not Candace. Even the text messages you showed that was not true when you were trying to show receipts, right? Because Candace canceled your babysitting services. She was home and fine. You, Jody Sue, came here with the sole purpose of making money under Summer's name. That's my opinion. And you live in Jurassic Park. Toxic.
Case they thought they could concentrate on because it looks like, what we talk about with less likely to be solved, more likely to last whiles of feeding sores, since they all kind of shot themselves in the feet over there a couple weeks back. And didn't think everything through. So latched onto this other one's case, and then probably thought they'd have longer with it, and then it was unfortunately I'll say solved, but not really. I mean, anyway, child is found and parents arrested, right? And thankfully in what I consider fairly quick fashion. And that's a good thing. Meanwhile, like the past week, parent bills had their hands all in that. And well, anybody here's probably heard of that case too, but yeah, as soon as it ended, you could tell. Right? And you're like, well, damn. Now what else do we have? Oh, wait. We can go back to trying to eat and feed off of. Shit. And here we are. Full on wrist again.
Who is eating and feeding off of you? Jody Sue. You're the one that comes out, and this is old, so we're responding to something from 2021. Okay? But you're the one that came out here. You're still doing the same shit. People were eating off of you, people were feeding off of you, but yet here you still sit, stating people were stalking you with no calls to the police. None. Explain that. I want to know why you've played so many games in this case. I want to know why you, in my opinion, played games with chicken on a stick. Why you were trying to help her silence people. I don't know. She ain't scared of anything. The only thing she's scared of, in my opinion, is her guilt. Guilt of what? What is that? This video ain't going to be the one with the chimney top. Here, let's see. Here's some images. Who wants to see? Oh, no. Where'd they go? See all. Let's see. What do I have here? There's a pretty one. Bitch. In my opinion. Oh, I'll be moving the cams around today, just so y'all are aware, and putting up some at the neighboring areas. And as you can tell with the shape of the road, that means you won't be able to hide faces or tags. Hashtag, may the odds be ever in your favor. They're not, by the way. Let's see. Stay out of Beach Creek. Quit going real life. I'm looking, see these ones. These was her and Andy texting that day when she pulled them out. I'm looking for the one that shows how they were trading cars. Marlena. Didn't like her either, and most people don't know that woman. And her husband is the one that always sold Candace and Dawn the drugs. There's Marlena Crawford writing me. Here you go. Light another one, bitch. That's the dog everybody was asking about. This is the dog that Fred and Andy Bernard fought about. The one they said they found that was all scratched up. What's this? Oh, Jody Sue Brown's charges. Violation date 2009. Deposition date 2011. 9/23/2009. But then the filing dates, yeah. So they got arrested on 9/23/2009. Let's see. Here's Andy. Andy Bernard, named in the pallbearers. We're going to find that one with the tag, too. And we're looking for Josh. We're looking for her shit with Josh. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to here. Here we go. Hold on.
But it's just,
It's okay to have your thoughts and opinions on this, especially since I know that it's been eating you alive too.
Maybe Donnie knows after the fact. I didn't wrap myself up in this. I had to be at work at least by 8:30, and I had to stay there till at least 5:30. That was my days. I had to get up. I had to go to work. I had to make that money every day to provide. So I didn't pay attention to all this side shit. Yeah, if they called me, they wanted something, I took it, I dropped it off, I went to my hill. I stayed on my hill. There's too many questions of me if I didn't do as what I needed to do as fast as what I needed to do and get home. I was always screwing somebody. Store clerks, cashiers. You know what I mean? So
you, damn, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because I've been in that kind of situation where
I had a routine I had to stick to and get done.
Like, Damn, she was probably downright checking your damn mileage being driven every day and everything.
Videos I started and never finished. We're just going through it. I don't know what we're going to find.
And did they mention, some people are bringing up, like, and I don't know because half of the people, you know, in this just tell so many lies and twist shit, but something about like black SUVs being spotted around the area?
I never seen no black SUVs.
I can't remember what kind
Now,
of
I
not an
don't think I was
Escalade,
even.
but
I worked for a dude that has a black Yukon, but I don't even think I was working for him, or he would be in and out of my road at that point in time.
okay.
I mean, he owns a business. He used to come pick me up, and we would go work on a houseboat he had in Knoxville.
Okay.
Which I never went to Knoxville with Donnie either. I don't know where people get this shit. I went to a hotel and hung out with Donnie, and I never, up until, what was it, November of 2022?
So
Whenever a bunch of them came here, is the first time I'd ever been anywhere with Donnie and Candace.
right, so that would be when Hunter's dad and everybody came down for that night or
No.
whatever.
That was after Summer went missing. That was
No, Cher, when he was hanging out with the YouTubers and finally showed an interest in Summer's case. That's what he's talking about. Did you not hear 2022? But you'd try to push another fucking narrative, right? That nobody mentioned no motherfucking Jose while you were talking.
Yeah, that was
My bad.
like, this is 2024. That was, babe, when was we living in Crossville and I came up here to do the thing? No, November. When, November?
I remember when we came back. We were up there from August to November.
But I came up here right before we came back.
So that would have had to been in October. Before Halloween.
I'm saying it was November or October, somewhere last.
Because it was after Cody's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. It just popped up. November of 2022.
Okay.
Thank you for listening and helping me out there.
I was
You
gonna
know who
say,
you are.
your wife has a much lovelier voice than your ex. I'll tell you that.
Damn it, I was muted. I'm going to throw this on. This is Jody Sue's No Clue PM. Not that I've seen. I don't doubt that. They were neighbors. This is Squall's first interview with Jody Sue. I'm going to let this play for a little bit.
Yes. Enter studio. All right, and I'm getting ready to add you to stream. Everybody, welcome Jody Sue Brown. Here we are. Hi, Jody. How are you today? Can you hear me? We can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear you? Nobody can hear you. Try your mic. Disconnect from me with the messenger. That might be it. Okay, say something now, Jody. Sue. No, nothing. Can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay. Oh, wait. Guests see viewer comments. Play a sound when the guests enter. Guests must.
How about now?
We can hear you.
Okay.
There's
It,
that voice.
it said it was having some sort of disconnect with Chrome or something. I don't know.
We're all beginners here. We're all learning. And I explained to you about how my voice got squashed when I was talking about one of the neighbors being an abuser of mine. I'm just going to
Yeah.
get really fast and then we'll go to everything that you have to say. And I've seen them squash your voice, and I had probably 6 people reach out to me in the last few days talking about you and asking me to get in touch with you and bring you on and everything because you are the prime example of what I want my channel to be about. And again, everybody, this is Jody Sue Brown. And a lot of people have questions. Yes, Nick. Thank you. Everybody hit that like button and the share.
You are the prime example of what I want my channel to be about, Jody. The prime example. They came here together, in my opinion.
Button, share it. We want people to hear this because this is very vital information. Jody, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to watch on the comments and I'm just going to let you have the floor. If you want, just tell us where you're from and
I agree with her opinion there, Pam. Ask Chicken where the airport is. Why was Candace taking Hunter to Ducktown? What was there? What's in Elizabethton? I actually agree with Jody on that. I think it could be a possibility.
Community and what it was like on a normal day and all of the things that started happening in the weeks coming up to the evening of Summer's disappearance. That's what I want everybody to hear about. So the floor is yours, honey. Let's hear your voice.
I'd like to preface everything by saying because there's issues every time somebody sees a video or hears me. that they seem to think I'm intoxicated, and I just want you all to know that I can be in a cup any day of the week. The reason that my speech and mouth move the way they do is because I had surgery and vital structures were taken. I was supposed to wake up and not even have my voice any longer. I have cancer. It had metastasized. Still don't have clear margins, so I do talk a little funny. My mouth gets heavy. I've been off thyroid meds for months and months, and that hits those same centers and nerves in, my mouth and things. So you'll hear me talk, and it does sound like I'm intoxicated, but I promise I'm not. So cancer scars pretty visible if you look at any of my pictures and videos. So anyway, right now and for good, we are no longer at that address. We are pretty grateful and happy about that. We have recently moved, and are in a temporary spot trying to stay safe because of situations of our own. Um, However, so you'll hear me go back and forth with past tense and current. So that particular area and that road are not really what people have kind of been led. I don't know how to phrase that, but the road's pretty quiet. Sometimes they're like any of it, like I've said in other videos, had this been just days or weeks before, I mean, we could have told you what ant had peed in the road, and that's the truth. We were used to the traffic that come in and out of there, could have told you the cars, the people, even during the middle of the night. Like, this is, a pretty quiet place to live. Every new vehicle and person's pretty noticeable. Most of us in the community know each other, and even out further, it's a small town thing, and the people that do come in there come from pretty close out, and so anyway, there's not that many of us that lived in there and live in there. I know there's lots of names on, say, like the GIS data and the maps, but there's actually not that many that live in there. There are all kinds of property owners, however. So most days until the property sales started taking place, and then tree cutters and brush people were in there, it is fairly quiet. At certain times, I will tell you that traffic does.
We all know what Squall and mine's relationship is like, right? I'm going to extend an olive branch right now. Squall, I believe a lot of what you say. I disbelieve a lot of what you say. I have questions. You've disappeared. I'm willing to make amends with you. I would like you to also, at some point, even now if you want, grab a link so that we could talk about the past 3 years. I would like to hear further about the James Light situation, the things you asked people to dig in on. At any time, if you want to grab my link, I will talk to you like a real human. It needs to be done. A lot of people have questions. I would like to know how it is you made it up there on Candace's Hill. I want to hear the truth about you and the lights. I think it's important to clear a lot of misinformation up on YouTube. In Summer's case. So at any time that you want to grab my link and come speak to me, I would appreciate that. Don't reach out to me in Messenger. I do nothing private with you. Ever. 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 Again. If you want to talk, we could do it in public. Right here on this platform where it all began.
Pick up off and on, but we can tell it for what it is, and it's not, unknown to us. The neighbors, for the most part, are, well, I mean, look, I can't really name any bad ones. Everybody's kind of hardworking. They're all good people. Most of them have jobs you wouldn't think of, like, most of them are government jobs, hospital jobs, veterans, things like that. They aren't crazy people. They aren't wild people.
And it would be even better if you actually introduced yourself to us and showed your face for the first time. You'd be more believable.
It's not, they're not bad people to live around, and they are really honest and good people. So the community itself is pretty closed off, or at least had been until, I don't know, the past year or two, and there's been lots of land sales taking place because of the status of land inside of Hawkins, which is unrestricted or so people are taking advantage of that, and property owners are taking advantage of the cost for land, especially unrestricted. So, but the community is still kind of closed off. You don't really come in there if you don't belong in there. You don't visit. It's not a place you're gonna come into and stop, or even knock on doors, if you don't know somebody. Why do I think? Sorry, it's got it like this big, and I'm having a hard time seeing some of these. I think traffic picks up off and on as I'll be honest with you here. The past couple of years, there's a difference if you live in Beach Creek now as opposed to, say, just a few years ago. Anybody's business was kept its business, and nobody knew each other's business. But now that new drugs and things are coming along, what's happening is you have the younger generation, now that the older's dying off, being kind of stupid, and they're bringing outsiders in and that type of thing, but so obviously, like every community, especially in areas like ours, and it is this area in particular as a whole, not Beach Creek itself, but this part of East Tennessee is considered part of the Oxycontin Highway, and it's where big transfers happen as it carries on across the country, and kind of an epicenter. So anyway, now that new types of drugs are available, and that, so things have kind of picked up as the younger generation has gotten addicted. It's, East Tennessee is pretty bad for it, but so is the entire country right now. But which is sad, it really is funeral after funeral after funeral around here. It's hitting every community, not just Beach Creek, not just wherever. It's everywhere. And so there are certain nights you see traffic pick up throughout Beach Creek, and this and the other. But like I said, I mean, we usually know who those people are coming and going and things like that. So, and can identify it, even if it comes into our road as, by exhausts. And I mean, like, the car sounds, and, what not to pick up, what not to don't. So it's no, either way, yeah. The community as a whole, though, is quite quiet, even with all of that.
And just like I told you all before, Squall lives in Virginia. That's where she lives now. Do you see what she's looking up? Southeast Virginia and East Tennessee. She went to college in Virginia. She had a friend disappear, get beaten and killed by her boyfriend in Virginia. She's not the 80-year-old lady that these people keep pushing me to. However, I'm not doxing nobody else and looking into anybody else, but anybody still researching this case should go through my past lives, get Edith's last name, and look her up and see if her voice matches Prayer Garden. My opinion.
During the day, it's pretty peaceful and calm. You don't hear, like it's, it is peaceful, for the most part. So, yeah. But it's not as, and
How about, I'm sorry to interrupt.
go
How
ahead.
about like a couple of weeks leading up to the evening that Summer disappeared, there was about the real estate company and
Yeah.
the property that Dobbs bought, leading up to the, before Dobbs even purchased the property. Can you tell us what happened with the traffic during that
It
real estate sale?
it had picked up for several weeks, but we didn't know why. And we had mistaken some of the traffic coming in for other things, like obviously Candace and them had a DCS situation, so I thought, and there was one point I messaged over, I was like, is this traffic for you? Is it friends parked down here? I didn't know. And that was in the days leading up, just like I think the week before, because generally what happens with property sales, you'll see like trickles of people, but then especially if it's going up for auction or something, in the last days you'll see bunches of people kind of show up to look at it. It's just kind of the way it works. But that's what we were experiencing as far as the traffic picking up. However, there were people in the days leading up to all of that. They were coming and arguing. We'd had several come up and ask if that particular piece we were on was for sale and if the house was for sale and things like that. We were like, no. And it was happening during periods of the day.
Don't worry about that. I'm just letting the viewers know what you're talking about here. So if they just join us and everything, they know what you're talking about. Keep going. You're doing a great job.
And so I mean, it was the middle of the day and weird times to where like metal thieves and stuff would normally show up if you weren't home, right? So and most of them were male and in trucks, and I was like, this has got to be about metal or stealing in the middle of the day. So I'd warned neighbors. There was quite a few I took pictures of and sent to other people. And I'd posted on Facebook, that sort of thing. Because I had no clue that it had to do with property sale because no signs had went up. And like I'd said in the other videos, we were told that there had been for sale signs placed, but there absolutely had not been, or other family members would have seen it. People, I mean, it didn't happen. So we had no clue. So
Did
I
you
just thought metal thieves. We thought crime, whatever.
the
And
spot and
then
steal
I
type
what?
people? You thought they were like the spot and steal. They spot and steal.
I understand it, Earl. If you're listening, it ain't middle, it's metal. She's saying metal, metal thieves. In the metal, and it's metal. It must be the Tennessee twang. For years, we've been trying. My husband laughs at that when he watches Jody. If he's listening, I just wanted him to know. I figured it out. It's metal.
Or they spot something in your yard that they want and they steal it. We call them spot and steal.
Well, these were
Groups.
walking all the way up the hill, and I assumed that when you walk up that piece that the kids and I were on. I mean, that is not an easy trek to make. It is worse than Candace's and M's and harder to get to. We assumed it was, well, the house is empty, whatever. They could see structures up there, thought it would be a good place to try to get metal from to, do, how the drugs and things work. So it was so weird because it doesn't really happen in there. That's the thing. At least not on properties like ours. That's how weird it was.
So the people that were coming, it was more than just Dobbs that was interested in this property that he purchased. And you're
Oh,
saying that the people,
absolutely.
and they came up there, got out of their vehicles, and were walking around in the woods and on the property there,
Yeah. And
right
they
where
thought,
the kids were playing, basically.
well, they sort of, there's a spot, that most of us in the road use as a way to bypass each other, but it's also used as a parking spot. Right between mine and Candace's driveways.
That would be about like right in here, wouldn't it?
I know from Google Maps it's a little off, but like if you are at the very end of Candace's driveway and you start to come up towards mine, which is, I don't know, maybe like 20 feet away at an
This
angle.
it, or is this it?
That is so small, I can't. You see this white dot right here to your right?
To my
Go to
right?
the white dot. Go to the house and go to your right. Right there is where we're located.
Okay, this is where
And
you
do you
lived at.
see? Yeah, and do you see the driveway that goes down? Or there's a cut through the woods.
Right here.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, Jody, this is what made people want to walk through your woods and see your woods. This is what made people interested. Was it last night I was on, the night before? And I said, it's like a movie. You give them a little, and they want more. Like Ziggy said, oh, Ben Hill, he's the one that killed himself. As if it was like fun. That shit ain't funny, Ziggy. That's real life. People do that. That doesn't make somebody famous. Coming from the wife of somebody who did that. The mother of children that have a father that did that. It's serious. Your little giggles and laughs, they're not funny. But Jody, this is what causes people to do this. You doxed yourself. Day one. Quit blaming others.
Like to a
Or
little
right
bit
here.
more to your right.
right here.
Yeah, but it sort of goes down, and part of it's hidden on Google, but it almost matches Candace's driveway by the time you get down to it. And I think you've got, so there's a spot about right there.
It looks like there's a spot right here.
Yeah, but it's still a little bit closer to Candace because the woods hide the exit towers.
And there's,
So
it looks
it's
like there's
around there.
right here.
Yeah, but it's on Candace's side, so it'll be to your left right there. There's a little bit of a spot
Right
there. Yeah, around that area, and directly across from the end of our driveway, but on Candace's driveway side. But from that spot, you can see Candace's, especially at that time of year, little foliage is there, and through the winter months, especially. But either way, they were parking down there, and they were getting out and walking up to our house and buildings and things. And and they had it wrongly listed online as the actual physical address for that house at first. And even up until the last days, like 3 or 4 days before the sale was, the last day the sale happened, we had to call in. When we called in, then they changed it online to where it was actually listed as like GPS data and not the physical address, like, a good way to find the property, but not that making it look like the 125 was for sale.
So
So
we could have had just think people coming up there to look at
and they're
property that's for
mostly out of
sale,
state.
and mostly out of state as well. I mean, there are so many that
In that
people that have
last week, I
never
think I only had 2
will be
locals, one from
identified.
Bloomingdale and one from Johnson City or Elizabethton, that I seen come in and out. And at that point, I was sitting at the bottom of the driveway for the most part for the last few days of that sale, waiting on others, because we knew the way the property had been advertised online on like Remax and all these out of state sites, that it was kind of a fib, because they had combined Candace and the 125 property to make it look like it was rolling hills. And I'm telling you, that is not what it is. Not even in the least. But they had taken these tricky little photos that made it look like ours and Candace's rolled together, and you couldn't tell there was a road in between us, and you could see Candace's basement door, the school bus, her house perfectly. They did try to blur out some stuff in certain photos. I think there was a series of 44 or 45 photos on some sites. Other sites, I think, had like 30 some of those, but most of what they had pictured weren't even the property for sale. I think there was like maybe 5 out of all of those photos that were the actual piece that was for sale. That's kind of
Wow,
how deceiving it
so that
was.
was misleading. So when these people did come up and look at the property, they assumed they were going by the pictures that the real estate company posted and said, "Oh, this is part of the property. Look,
Yeah.
this is a part of the
And
property. Look."
I
And it
we had
wasn't.
people trying to fight us, trying to argue with us. That was also part of the problem with Mr. Dobbs. Other than the point of contention and question, it was that he thought he had bought this whole giant piece, which wasn't. And so it was more than just that point of contention where the spike lands. It was also that he thought, by going by the real estate pictures and things, that he had bought this giant piece, and he had not. So
Okay, right here is a good one. Nick Owen asks, "Are horse riders around there often?"
one of my children's family members that lives in there
Excuse
has
me.
horses and things, off and on. He trains them, whatever. But that's not frequent. It's a rural community. You have horse riders, but they mostly stick to the main roads. The locals will ride through the woods and things like that. and like locals will use our road to enter the mountains and whatnot, but it's not like people coming from all over and riding through there or anything. And and I can hear the horses when they come in and out, even just like it wasn't but a few nights after summer went missing, a horse been living there because it was lost, but I could hear it was like 3 a.m, but so I mean we hear them, see evidence of them here and there, so but it's not an everyday thing. It's not, anything like that.
All right. Susan Lloyd says, so Dobbs never had a land survey done to avoid all of that.
No, and this particular family that owns the property that and the 125 pulled out a survey from the Morlock family that had been done by the Morlock family just a couple of months prior to the 77. I think the survey was done in 76. The deed was made in early months of 77. And the transfer happened, and that was the one
That
that
was
Dobbs would have had.
1977. That's 1977?
Yeah.
A year.
And that is the one that Dobbs would have been given, but they didn't offer him that survey, even though other neighbors had, because it wasn't just the family with that survey. Other neighbors around us had it as well, and it offered it to the family in case they lost it, the map itself. And so there was access, but for some reason Dobbs was not given that survey, but we did have that survey, and I guess the family still does. Obviously, I have pictures of it and copies of it in one of the phone's memory cards right now. But
okay.
The survey.
Can you help me out a little bit? Like right here where my arrow is on the map, right where it says Ben Hill Road and where it appears to be Candace and Don's driveway. Can you tell me where to go with my cursor to show where the land is that Dobbs?
I'll do you one better. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna lay this phone down and I will go get another. I don't know if it's on that memory card. Well, okay. So what you see is, and I wish I could keep zooming in, because what you're going to be looking for is the little. Okay, whoa. Okay, where you're. All right, the top part of Candace's driveway, right there, the first line of it.
Right here.
No, down towards the road.
Right here.
Yep. Go kind of straight across from it onto the Ben Hill property. And slowly, okay. So that right there is going to be kind of the start of the Dobbs property, is directly across from that top line of Candace's and over. But then what you have is it goes kind of in a spoon sort of moon shape and around that bank, because that's basically all it was sold, was the crust of that bank for the 125 Ben Hill.
To the north?
To the north and the east. And it goes around and curves.
So kind of like this.
Yeah. And then if you'll go up towards the house.
Like towards your house?
Yeah, but it ain't even that far. I mean, it's literally the crust outside of that bank where you can see it raised up. And then it goes below the barn on the one. Yeah. And then it goes below the barn on the 125 property, which is back here behind the house. It just follows the edging of the bank, and then you'll see the barn's on the top of that ridge line.
Is this the barn?
Zoom in there. Yeah, because it's the trash pile. Yeah. So what happens is it goes on, it goes around the edge of that bank right there. There's not even that far. Not even close. Like it literally, the line for it starts at Candace's driveway, but then it just edges around the crust of that bank.
Right through here.
Yeah, sort of. And then it'll follow, you see where the darkness is and the trees? Right
here?
Yeah, it follows that next to the barn. No, not even that far out. Just the edging and that darkness.
Okay. Right down here.
Yeah. And it'll go,
So this area right here.
yeah. And then it'll kind of curve up around that darkness in the bank because that's the creek. It'll go to your right around the edging of that bank.
Right around here.
Keep going. Because that's where most of the 2 acres he was sold is.
Right here.
That, yeah, but you'll keep going even. But
Gotcha.
not actually. And then about where the barn is, it stops. The 2 acres is actually a vertical cliff. Like he can't really access it. It's of no use. You can't
That's why
build
the
on it.
real estate put all of the pictures over here.
Yeah, they made
where you
the bank on the 125 right where all that. No, yeah, right in here. They made all of that blend with Candace's directly across and advertised it as Rolling Hills.
Yes. Now, if you watch Cracking Cases, they have
Now
a lot
there
of
is a
real estate
driveway.
photos where you could actually see the bus, the
Yeah.
top of the bus from Candace and Dawn's.
And see, I've got all those
residence.
pictures downloaded from all the websites, so I know what kind of stuff they were trying to pull. But if you go, there's 2 driveways to the house on the 125, and where he was there, you can't really see the first driveway because it's not really in use unless stuff needs to be put up to it. But where he was parked that day, which is at the end of the driveway, they kind of connect the old driveway and the new. But that first driveway comes all the way up to the 125 house. And the second, they meet each other basically, and they're both across from Candace's. But he was parked right there at the end, about closer to the road, obviously. Yeah, in that area. But that first driveway leads all the way in directly to the back of the house for 125. But those 2 no trespassing signs he was parked are like right there. And yeah, so
Dobbs was basically camping right here.
yeah, but he was, either way, he was trying to. He hadn't managed to actually camp yet. He'd only been there a few hours.
Now there are photos going around of and I want to say allegedly because I have not confirmed. I have been told this and I have seen it said and said and said time and time again. The photos of Dobbs coming off of a piece of property. He's coming down. Is he actually on the Wells property in that photo? Do you know which photo I'm talking about?
I don't know which photo you're talking about, but we do have pictures of him that day because I was like, I want his tag number. And so I have pictures of him in the vehicle and everything because the back hatch was open. So everything he had in that vehicle were visible. So, I mean, and I can share those if necessary. I think I honestly sent.
I want to show you guys something. What the hell? I don't know what's going on. It ain't letting me look nothing up. Hold on. I think my cookies need cleaned. Let me pull up a new tab. Let me stop sharing and try. What the hell is going on with my computer? We'll just finish watching this when I take it down. We'll look. I want to show you guys the map. When you look up 125, the address starts on Beach Creek Road. There's a driveway that goes somewhere in them woods. I don't know if it goes up to Andy and Jody's house. But their house, their property, starts on Beach Creek Road. I don't know if anybody knew that.
them to.
And it continues till next to Fred's. They sold all that property off. The family owned all of that property within that area there. To me, it looks like the Thompsons' house was newly built. When Jody Sue says people coming in and building on our land, I believe that's what she means. I don't know for sure. I never looked into when they bought their property. It's just a thought and an opinion.
Candace, to be frank with you, because I was afraid they were lost a couple weeks ago when I was looking for evidence for my own thing going on. So
Right. We can always do another show and bring that those pictures in. There's no problem there. The day before Summer went missing, there are statements going around that the law showed up over a property dispute.
they did. Like
They did.
He wouldn't move. I was under the impression at last he was moving off of that piece and taking the vehicle out of there at least. And then he sat down, was acting a little weird. I thought, and then I could tell by the time we were backing out in my car, I was in the passenger seat, that he was not actually moving. He was having some sort of fit on the back of his vehicle. I was like, whoa, to the person that was driving. And
all this basically, it took place at the bottom of Dawn and Candace's driveway right there, right across
well, it
from the bottom
happened
of the
in
driveway.
our driveway.
Oh, it happened in your driveway. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't in Candace's driveway at all. But at
Okay,
one
well,
point, he had been parked in that parking space I was talking about earlier because the tires we had there blocking that off.
Dawn and Candace's property, she claimed as her own, put tires down there so people couldn't go look at the Dobbs property because it was the only parking spot on that area. And then started fighting with Dobbs because he parked in their driveway and didn't know which driveway was which. They said cutting down lights. What lights, Jody Sue? Jody Sue said she was going down to water flowers. Seriously, 2 tiger lilies. That's what she was talking about. She pulled them, took pictures of them, posted them on Facebook and said, I even took the flowers. Literally, 2 fucking flowers. She was doing that shit on purpose. You heard her say, oh, there were some people from Balinton that come. Well, not, was it Balinton, she said? Elizabethton. It was up in that area. When Pam asked me earlier, Jody Sue says Summer might be between point A and point B. That's why I always pointed to that area. That always caught my attention. I listen. Why would you say things like that? You're the one that introduced these people to come looking at the land. How do you know where they were from? She fought with many people that went there. No, that's who she fought with. Was Summer taken, Jody, because you had a fight with somebody? Why don't you explain further? There's many possibilities that come out of your little interview here with Squall. One interview. That's all it took. When you were public on YouTube. And the time before it, the weeks leading up to this, you were public with unprivated videos on Facebook. I can't stand when you say before I was public. You showed the helicopters night 1. You got in your car talking to Evelyn about the fence that was blocked off. Night 2. Fuck out of here with your bullshit annex, in my opinion. I'm speculating you caused a lot of fucking problems in Summer's case. The question is why? Chicken, Jody, grab a link. Squall, my link isn't to fight with you. I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm seriously offering you an olive branch to get the information that you might have that could lead to summer.
At that point had
Right.
been moved, and the person I was with had asked him how the tires got moved, and he was like, "Oh, that was me. I was parked there earlier." Before he had actually parked in between no trespassing signs and had cut away through. So at one point he was parked in the parking space over there, towards Candace's I was talking about earlier. He had moved the tires to do so. There was 4 of those there, and then after he had cleared and cut through my lights and trees and whatever cut his way in between those 2 no trespassing signs, he then moved the vehicle over there. So he was at the bottom of our driveway at that point when the police showed up and when we had found him down there. So he
Have you
was at the bottom of ours.
have you seen crack?
Like the Wig Squall started her channel and Jody Sue comes out. Look who's in chat. Fuck you mean?
Cracking cases video where they put the real estate pictures?
I had not. Until
Okay,
recently, I don't, and then we've had our own situation going on, so I've
correct.
not really been online too much. I mean, other than, on
You'll
my
have to,
own.
after we get done with this, I'll send you the link and everything so you can look at it. But they have covered a lot of the real estate pictures. Cracking cases, Cam and Alley, they are really wonderful. They talk about justice. Justice has to be served. Justice, will be served, but it can also be done without hate.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. Everybody thinks that we're
We're not hating on anybody. We're just
that
trying to explain.
particular, and I don't, because of safety concerns, it, Candace and them's driveway is and their house is a whole lot easier to access than, say, the property we lived on until just a few days ago. However, I mean, like, it is really not that difficult. Like, I mean, and you've had crazies online go in real life, and I've watched them with my own eyes get to exactly where the whole internet's saying, oh, nobody could get up that driveway. Nobody could get to their back door. How did whatever? It is literally not that far. It is,
I have spoken with the ladies from Project Truth, and they have been up there.
Mm-hmm.
And another lady that drives up here from Cleveland, and she has been up there. I have spoken with them, and they said that they can get up there no problem. Chris
Oh, yeah.
Chris M, he
And, like, it's a good place
exaggerated
at certain
a
times of the
lot.
year. That's the thing. That particular way that's shaped is like you could literally hide behind the weed center, and the way the bank is shaped, watch that basement door and just wait. Like, and it wouldn't even be a thing. Like, it's not as inaccessible as it looks. The pictures and the way the perspective from video and even the still frames, especially in the news, make it seem absolutely impossible to get access, but it's not. Theirs is definitely more accessible than ours by a long shot, but it honestly kind of is the way it's set up, especially with foliage popping up in those days before, was you could have sat there and watched until. And, so, I mean, it's not. But the thing is like there's only a couple places on that road somebody would have been able to park to where I couldn't have seen them during my hypervigilance. So either somebody had been watching or they got super lucky. Because I was out on that bank, I was in hyper alert, super vigilant mode. I mean, and how and why still bothers me greatly. Um, because there's literally only like 2 spots you could park to hide from my vision there, because I can see that parking spot. I can see Candace's driveway. I can see, but
You can see things that we can't see on the map because you have been there and
yeah,
you have
well, and
traveled that road 100,000 times, so you can see stuff that we don't see in that. Can
yeah,
you give us some insight on the Wi-Fi and cell signals? On my last video, I call it Booney Wi-Fi.
yeah,
That's what I
and
call it, is
that
Booney
was another
Wi-Fi.
thing. They were advertising these out of staters like it had a high speed internet and it was hawking and like the co-op, which I loved their power when we were at the other place. Loved their power. It never went off. But this particular piece has AEP and they're garbage. But anyway, there is no high speed internet. You're lucky if you can get satellite, and that's a joke. Down there. Until like I have literally through the years tried to call 911 even on device like cell phones throughout the years, and until like the past couple of years, like most people, even dead like cell phones without service, will connect to 911, right? But down there you can't even do that until the past couple of years. So it's and you still have to walk around the field half the time going like the Verizon guy, can you hear me now? Or but your cell phones are not coming in. Like it's not. Even cop radios still don't work on there. I mean, it's not a secret to anybody that lives there. It's part of what, like, I've literally had police show up through the years and tell you that, they're, because they don't, they're not safe either, right? So they will tell you to either come down in the morning or they'll come back in the daylight because it's, the signal down there is not safe for them either, and they can't stay connected to each other. And even, now it's kind of like that. I mean, and I think there's been discussion about upgrades through the years, and especially now that the summer thing has brought attention to that. But I mean, it is not. I've watched, and GPS will send you all over the place. Like you can put in hours, it'll send you to Grassy Creek instead. So, I mean, it's kind of the Wild West. Some people's cell phones work in certain areas, but if you have a different carrier, they don't. Even if you use, say, Wi-Fi to call out, you're looking at a lag so long that it's ridiculous, over talking one another, shutting down. You might as well forget it. Like it's useless.
Yeah, there's a major lag, and like I don't know if anybody has witnessed someone on Facebook that has that Booney Wi-Fi. They might share a post, and the next thing you know, they've got 5 of the same exact posts
Yeah.
in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you're scrolling through your Facebook, and then you see them post that, and then like you see like the next 3 posts or that same Facebook friend posting the same thing at the exact same time 3 times over. You click on their profile and you see a whole bunch of that where they post the same thing over and over and over. It's not that they're posting it 5 or 6 times in a row.
It's
That's
just that
what
it'll act like it has or hasn't, and then you hit the button again, or for no real reason,
it
it
just
will
does
pick it
it.
up and just continue to,
It just
proliferate.
automatically does it with the
Yeah.
lag. And it's like it happened to me one time, and I had shared something, and a friend of mine from the UK messaged me and said, "Have you been hacked?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Well, why are you sharing things
Sorry,
15
I didn't even
times?"
realize it was getting dark. I don't know. One of those days.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. But asked me like, well, why did you post that like 15 times? And I
Yeah.
was like, booty Wi-Fi. That's all I
Oh,
can
I've
say.
been
I don't
there.
know.
And look, the kids now are eating up the real Wi-Fi, like eating it up. Because before, I mean, like all these games and it's fortune in these game systems and things, and they couldn't really do anything with them and couldn't access certain features because the Wi-Fi doesn't allow it. And I mean, you can't even play live games because of the lag. And so, and now it's like, because it was getting so hard for me to type from where my fingers and things are, that I was posting very little. And you might as well forget video uploads. That's not going to happen for you. Netflix will work, but Hulu will not. You might as well forget Disney Plus. Might as well forget everything, honestly. So, and sorry, you're probably seeing me shake, but I'm suddenly freezing, and I have like 3 shirts and a sweater on, but
I
it's part of
just let
the.
my dog in, and it has dropped. It felt like it dropped 20 degrees from the time that I got.
Right. I've asked Jody that. What are the right questions? Jody's welcome to grab a link in my chat anytime. She knows that. I'm just done with her shit and antics, her accusing people of doing shit they're not doing. If she holds answers, she needs to say something. Morning act, right? Sorry. I was live about Quentin and then Pam asked me to come live about Summer, so I did. I had to think of something to come live about just in time. Killer went live and I seen some crazy shit in his chat. Like, what the fuck is that about? Why is Chicken on a Stick holding a wrench in Killer's chat? Killer's welcome to come over here. I showed tonight who was blocked. None of them are blocked. I unblocked a lot of people tonight. Y'all watched me do it. I've never had those people blocked. I've never blocked Benny. Tiffany I blocked because it's fun. I'd really like Tiffany to start covering Summer again. I would like her to ask these questions. Cracking Cases is back. I haven't gotten to watch their live yet. Ask the questions. Benny, you're trolling. No doubt about that. Ask the questions. CSI, answer the questions. Put the videos back out. Squall, grab a link. I'm offering you 100% an olive branch. The only stipulations with that is that it's all done publicly. Shay, unblock your videos. Everybody's talking about the backpack. You seem to be back into this fucking swing of things in chats. Why? Why do you people leave things blocked and hidden? TT, make yourself public again with your face. Go tell your story publicly, out loud. Prove that Squall's lying. Squall, prove that TT's lying. You all played these games in Summer's case. The creators leave. They go over to Sebastian's case, right? They tried in Quentin's. Bullhorn took that over. There was no getting past her because then you throw the locals in over there. So what's next? Let's find another case in Tennessee, right? Start all kinds of fucking problems in that case. Go back into it and fake names. Notice 80% of the names in chat over there with the same creators have changed. Those that covered Quentin no longer covering his trial, they didn't give a shit. In my opinion, Betty didn't give a shit because she's not covering it now. She gave it 3 seconds of time today. Ziggy, you brought the babysitter out. You don't give a shit. Y'all play these games in Summer's case, and you're not here no more. Why? All the locals just crawl into a hole. You don't hear about it. I called Annie out. Annie's gone. She's disappeared. Since I've shown my TT messages, Annie has disappeared. Why is that? Nobody's paying attention. They're all watching the mess that these creators are creating in Sebastian's case. Y'all ignored the real shit that people should have been questioning. Squall, why are you on three-way calls with the PIs? Calling TT thinking it's chicken on a stick, according to TT. It's in my messages. The video's posted. I'm done. I've posted receipts time after time after time after time over 3 years. I've been put down, sued, tried to be silenced, in my opinion. And none of y'all answer the questions. It doesn't make any sense. Jody Sue, what do you mean when you say, in your opinion, she's between Beach Creek and Bayleton? Do you understand why I looked into the things I looked into? Are you fighting with somebody from Bayleton over that property? Lots of people were coming down there and fighting with you over that property. Remember? We just heard you say you put tires down there prior to Dobbs. Dobbs moved those tires. Why? Why don't you answer the real questions? You told people to ask the right questions. I'm asking. Answer them.
Home at 6 o'clock today until now.
Yeah.
And I just noticed my clock's blinking, so the power's been off while I was out and about today. Well, okay, apparently on
She's always been here. She goes under the name Alexandria Nicholas. That's just one. She goes under many other names too. I've shown proof of that. You'd have to go back and look. I was looking for the screenshots tonight. I don't know where they're at because I didn't expect to come live with this. But I've shown them several times. That's her. So she's now holding a wrench in Killer Looks' channel while Shay's all in the chat. Like, hey! Killer diverts from certain things. And now I have questions.
like you can hear one neighbor's set of neighbors, but the other neighbors that are even closer to you, you can't hear them. And that's just like the terrain and the trees. Can you give any insight on the echoes in that holler?
Well, each property is different. Even different places on each property is different. Like the particular piece I was on, I guess if you wanted to be, the Mertz neighbor on Bewitched, it would be it, because for some reason that piece itself kind of picks up everybody's properties, even all the way into the hollow at the end. So, and I think it's because of the height, because it is above everybody else's. it also has a scoop ending, but the hollow reaches it both ways, and then the right of ways and things help it pick up sounds from kind of everywhere. But as far as the surrounding pieces there, and I'm going to try not to use specifics because I don't want other people that don't want to speak and things like that, or ways to identify them to where people go harassing them or go in real life.
Correct.
They like there's another one that's near Candace that and see, I can't really, that's the thing, like there are things I know that, but it will identify them if I even give out how the sounds are heard. But there's a particular piece right there that they can't hear Candace except for sounds that come off the left side of that bank at Candace's in a certain area. But they can't hear the voice screaming full out, playing. And I can hear the voice just fine. Plus, I can hear that person that they can't hear anything but the left side of Candace's. I can hear them perfectly, but only if they're out further, like I'd say 30 feet or so from their house. I can hear everything from theirs. I can hear everything below and further.
Science tells you, and interviews with Dawn standing outside. The video with Dawn outside I showed a couple weeks ago, Grandma Candace's trailer, you could hear the cow. Science tells you, you learn when you're a little kid. You ever see the toucans on a string? If you hold them, you can hear. Or have you ever seen somebody yodel yodel hee hoo on top of two mountains? Two people screaming at each other and they echo. Everybody can hear fucking everything there. That's science. Jody Sue, people wanted to do the scream tests. People wanted to go on the property and see what you could hear because of the stupid shit like this you were saying. Like, you can only hear this, you can only hear that. You were doing this as a diversion for what fucking reason, I don't know. You also state, nobody knows where I heard the scream from. So why don't you fucking tell people instead of playing games? The dumbasses going there up on the hill trying to do these scream tests. Guess what? They don't know what direction Jody Sue heard the scream from. Was it from Fred's? Was it from Beach Creek down by the shed? Was it from on the hill? Was it from Dobbs' property? Was it from Simpson? You're all fucking idiots. Not just Prayer Garden, all of you.
Further out. But like the day I was looking for Summer, you can't, like Candace, I mean, she couldn't hear me screaming. And I've known of other things throughout the years where I've hollered at her from the bottom. She can't hear me. Not if you're off and actually into the road or right there at the very bottom of the driveway. Just, And then, like, but I can hear Candace just fine. Like, she's in front of me, even at the bottom of our piece. I can hear her and the boys and Dawn on a regular day at the top of, and even at our house, even if they're speaking in normal tones on their.
She hadn't released her 16 videos yet, I think, when she did this. Ugh, I gotta see if I can find the dates. However, I think this was her trying to cause a diversion. That's just my opinion. Why go so far into detail? I believe it actually was with Squall where she describes the driver of the truck too. So we may hear that here in a little bit. But she knew he had tattoos all over the place. I mean, somebody just driving by. Long wavy hair, dark skin, his face she'll never remember. Like, I swear she even talked about tattoos on his fucking leg. How do you see that from inside of a truck? Yeah, you can hear all around you, even better in the wintertime. Right, because it echoes. That's what happens when you live on two hills. I live in Pittsburgh. Baldwin. In the south direction. Southeast direction. Is probably 7 miles from me. I can hear traffic from there because we're on two hills. It's science. We learn it in grade school. Believe it or not. These people, man, mind blowing.
Property. Not just the boys are yelling and screaming. I mean, I could hear Candace and Donnie talking. I could hear the kids talking in low tones. And so, and I could hear cars and doors and people all the way to the back of the hollow. Like it's, yeah. And then if you got onto the main strip of Beach Creek and go to your left, you know the big farm down there on your right, across from where the all the new people are moving in with the RVs. You know what I'm talking about? That farm. It was part of Mike and Barbara's, and they sold off before Barbara
Is this
passed.
Squall shuts her up, but you know what? Jody Sue named her cats Mike and fucking Barbara. The ones the psychic stayed with? You gotta be shitting me. Before they even came out? Oh, man. Ask the right questions.
You're gonna go back to the left towards Mount Carmel. Free will.
Oh, this way to the left.
Yeah, it's basically across like that RV campground's down there across from Mount Carmel, but there's a farm down there near Mount Carmel Church, and it is giant. But there, I mean, I can pick up sounds perfectly from
Is
there
this
as
it right
well.
here?
What is that?
No, it's the fucking ranch up behind Mount Carmel where the people from Utah own it, from Ogden, Utah. You gotta be shitting me. Okay, ask the right questions.
Because you should be on. Okay, you got Mount Carmel Free Will Baptist right there, right on your see the church.
Right here.
Yeah. Okay, so what you have is a big a farm right in that area on the same side as Mount Carmel. Well before Simpson. So anyway, I can pick up sounds from down that far, clear as day. There's a cow there that drives me insane, and it's just one this season. And it's like it was right in the cabin doorway.
Right.
It drives me nuts. So, yeah, you know, it
All right.
depends on what's happening, but it's the
So
way the valley filters through, and then the way the creek follows and goes directly to the Ben Hill, you know, the road. It just comes through, and it's nothing but basically a bullhorn. So,
and that's like a 4-minute drive in a vehicle.
I
mean, that's
yeah,
like 2
I
miles,
think
2 miles, I
because the
think.
other property we had lived in prior is across from Mount Carmel Baptist, because his family owns their house down there. That house is across from Mount Carmel, and I think that it's like a mile from Ben Hill to like Mount Carmel and Field. So it takes, you know, like a minute, minute and a half.
And
But
this is
honestly,
where
you
they
know, none of us down there
staged.
are doing the speed limit either. So
This is where they staged at the. Is this the church that they set up at?
yeah,
This
that's
is
the
the church
staging
that
ground.
the officers set up at the day that Evening Summer went missing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that night.
Okay. Can you tell us about the tree trimming crews now?
They've been in there for weeks leading up to summer.
Weeks?
This Yeah, like it had been a while because, and I could probably give you exact dates because they were showing up and had been there already cutting when I had a radiation scan at one point scheduled.
And they actually cut this path right here out, didn't they?
Yeah, they cut from all the way over here at the start of Ben Hill.
Like from here?
Yeah,
And they
all
came
the way
all
up
the
here.
way up through here, all the power lines, they just went up through there cutting trees.
They were honestly cutting where they're running power lines, so I don't know what to tell you about that. But I do know that what they did on Candace and their property is if you start at Ben Hill, at the very beginning of it,
Okay.
all the way to your like left on Candace's. Yeah,
Right
all
here.
the way through there and out, and they literally have cut a swath of that property out to where it's nothing but, I mean, there's no vegetation left. It
You
is
could
the
you could
clearest
drive
cut
a you could drive
I've
a
seen.
utility truck through there.
Oh no,
I
no.
mean, you couldn't drive it like a power truck if a power line fell or something, they had to get to it.
Well,
Because
I
usually
think
that's
that's
what they do when they
kind
cut the
of
vegetation out. They fix it to where they can
that's what
reach the
they're
power
supposed
lines.
to do. But what I'm telling you, they did is they clear cut that like you would clear cut for a hayfield to go in.
Oh, wow. So they
Like
completely.
they ground down tree stands into dust, buildings, fence posts, fences. There was nothing left over there. I mean, it was horrendous, and I've never seen anything like it. And it was more than just to get a truck through. And it also left it open to the main road coming through Beach Creek. I mean, like I had clear eyesight that they were looking for summer on Voldemort, Donnie, the cops coming in and out, and that is not normal. Even I was appalled that day. I was like, what have they done over here? Like, it was insane. And I think what they told me when I went back there about the wood and timber situation stuff is they were only supposed to cut 13 feet up the banks, something like that. And I was like, okay, but you're way above. What are you doing? Like, then that it doesn't explain why you did that over there, you know. And they stayed over there on Candace stems for so long. Like, I'm like, shouldn't they be done over there already? And they only moved really after summer had left. Like, and then they finally start on the right of way that goes through the Ben Hill property, one of them, to all the way back to another neighbor's. And so, it was just like, and they didn't clear cut the 125 and the right of way to it like they did to Candace's and M's. And that's what makes they didn't do it to other neighbors either. They were kind of staying within their bounds that they had told me were their measurements. But for some reason, they did Candace and Donnie's like that. Now, I couldn't tell you why that is, but it was one of the most atrocious clear cuts. I mean, like, it was literally like somebody would have been cutting down everything to put in a hayfield.
Wow. How many workers did the tree trimming crew have?
At first, there were like, one of the days I recall being down there, like the radiation scan day, it was like a massive amount. There were two separate crews. I talked to somebody that had identified themselves as like a supervisor or something. And, then they gave me a number of somebody else to call to make sure that everybody knew because that was somehow state related, the two company related. It was, a mix of, how that stuff works.
Right.
And
Or contractors, so.
And there was personal vehicles, there was motorcycles parked across the cemetery, personal vehicles kind of parked everywhere. But my car was surrounded in the middle of Ben Hill when I stopped, to the point to where I felt smothered anyway. But there were like dozens, and there was a massive amount of equipment and trucks and vehicles coming in and out. And I think the number of these people definitely dropped after Summer, went missing. Like it was.
They were dropping pens and R-ing her with their eyes, and they scared her. And there was thousands of them. They were coming out of the woods just to look at Jody Sue because she was in her sports bra because she was going to have a procedure done. Oh yeah, this story was told 1,000 times.
Not even a quarter of what had been showing up in there.
I mean, just the next day, very next day, the number was cut in half or less.
Oh, absolutely.
The very next day. Yes. Enter studio. All right, and I'm getting ready to add you to stream. Everybody, welcome Jody Sue Brown.
I don't know why Canva just did that. Hold on, guys. Look, it's not at the beginning. Let's move the cursor right to here.
Oh, absolutely.
The very next day.
Yeah.
You might have to watch a few minutes over. Sorry.
Yeah.
Compared to the day that she went missing.
My car was surrounded. I mean, they were shoulder to shoulder and looped. It was like 2 or 3 circles of men around my car. It wasn't just like, oh, there's 10 and it's enough to take up space. This was like.
The only one I ever heard was found in a ditch was Earl Taylor, and he wasn't a tree trimmer. He was Calista Maddox, who is Ricky Crawford, Marlena's brother's girlfriend. They have a couple kids together, but she cheated on on Ricky's cousin with Ricky, Earl Taylor. Earl Taylor was found on the 16th in like a creek ditch or something. I had spoken to somebody very close to him who loved him very much. And he was with Calista the night before on the 15th, the day Summer went missing. So, yeah, there was a man named Cecil there. When the police questioned Cecil told the police that he didn't know Earl, and that's not true. They lived together or something. We're really good friends. I'd have to go back and look at my messages. Wow. I didn't know nothing about the tree trimmer. Can you tell me where I can find that? Because I'll look at it for sure. That's interesting, huh? If true. All right, I'm going to put this back on.
Like 3 circles worth of men around the car. And
3 rows deep all the way around.
Yeah, like that many.
Wow. And so there was like that many the day that Summer went missing, and then the next day after she went missing, not even half of that.
Attention the day she went missing. I mean,
Okay.
because I was at the house. You could hear them come in and out, in and out. I can't
Let's
say
say in the days leading up to Summer going missing, and compared to the day after, the number of workers were like cut in half. Like one of them. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, there was a
So
drag. You could
So
tell.
I mean, it's as if possibly anybody from that came to look at the real estate could have seen the kids. So many of the tree trimming crew. I mean, there was more than what was just there the day that Summer went missing.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about your point of view from the day that the evening that Summer went missing? Begin at the very beginning when you first found out about Summer going missing, actually before she went missing. What was your position in that?
Hey, I want to let you guys know my hubby gets off at 6 and I want to start breakfast. So you guys got me till 6, but I'm going to get off till then. If we're not finished with this, I think we should be pretty close to the end of this. But I'll come back after we sleep and everything. I don't know what time the kids are coming back today. If they're coming back today, I'm so confused and lost. I know Maury's coming back today, but I don't know about the other two. But I'll be back later tonight to talk more about Summer too. So I'm going to do another Quentin and Summer today. I'm going to go over things from the week at trial with Quentin, and then I'll come back because I'm trying to keep them separated. And we'll talk about Summer again. I'm going to go through some of my stuff today and see what else I could dig up on Squall. I'd really like Squall to take my olive branch. I'd like to have a conversation with her where she can let out all of her involvement and tell us why it is she pointed at Dobbs and the Pill Mules and the James Light and all of that. Because I don't know if any of y'all have noticed, but I have still been going off of things Squall said and all this time. I think it's important. All right. Why do I keep doing that?
And what is your side? Because I mean, everybody's got their own view of the story and how it went. What is your story of the day? How you found out? What all happened?
Well, it, I was on. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get a blanket. I am absolutely freezing, and it's like 80 in here. I'm wearing 3 shirts, but no thyroid is. Yeah, I'm not feeling the cold today. And I'm shaking like a leaf currently. Um, so the day was pretty normal, other than obviously the property thing. We had expected Mr. Dobbs to show back up at some point, or who knew what from that. So I was kind of super hyper alert, and every noise was kind of bringing me out. It's And there's a cabin I was in at the time for cancer treatments, that sort of thing, etc. And then, and it was facing a little bit different of an angle than the house and a little closer to Candace's in a way.
Another thing, I'm willing to go there. Mr. Frank Light, I've sent you a message on Facebook. I don't think you've ever looked at it. I understand more than most likely you're not allowed on social media. You would be allowed to speak to me on the phone. If you would like to talk to me, please reach out to me in Messenger. I'd like to hear your story.
And it picks up noise a little different than the house. But either way, the kids and I were in there and joking and goofing off. I was sitting on the bed. I didn't feel good, especially from the stress from the day before. But we were doing what we always kind of do. We were together and
Doing your typical family stuff.
yeah,
On an evening that's just at home and
um,
chilling. Yeah.
the tree crews and stuff had cut out. So we were sitting there and my daughter was at my feet and I was up towards like the head of the bed, and my son was to my left. And the cabin doors were open, and in the type of PTSD sort of hyper vigilant sort of mode I was always in anyway. It had been exacerbated. I always kind of keep things quiet. That day it was particularly.
Miss Sherry Light, you and I have spoken in Messenger 3 years ago. I'd like to further that conversation with you. I may be reaching out to you, so check your messenger if you're interested.
Quiet because we were waiting on dogs, right? We assumed something else would happen or more property people, because they were still showing up at, even after the sale until the close and all this other stuff. I mean, even then they were still coming. So
And I've offered you many times to come on my panel. I think it's time you go on somebody's panel, Miss Light. Explain yourself. What's your involvement?
And so for weeks, even after the property sale, I mean, there were still people showing up, blah, blah, blah. So it was always something for those few weeks. And, but like I said, that day was quiet. The kids and I were joking, though, being pretty boisterous and loud. And I pickle. And that's my blanket. And so we were kind of over talking one another. I mean, really happy that day, as I recall. I mean, just like joking about all kinds of different stuff. And so there was no fan, there was no AC, there was no TV on. The cabin doors and windows were open. And there were a few points in there where noises brought me out. And one particular moment was hearing a door slam just once. And we went out, my son and I, and I thought one of the survey lines was down, like it had been cut or something that I had run. And a surveyor that had been with me checked them and made sure rerun some of them. So anyway, my son checks them, and there was a branch on one. So he was cool enough to take that off for me. And then I was like, do you see the tires down there in the parking spot? It looks like they've been moved. And so he went all the way down and, at the very edge of the bank, he was like, no, Mom, they're fine. It doesn't look like they've been moved from earlier whenever we've been out there. Because like I said, it'd been quite a few times throughout the day. And so then, now I feel like I'm pretty sure on this. I've asked for help often, but I feel like during this period is when we also heard a car and seen a car, but there was something wrong with it. Because these were the two major things for me that I think back on, was that door slam, and then at a point hearing and seeing a flash of red go up Candace and Dawn's driveway. There was something wrong with it, to the point where it's not something I would normally, that's how I know that there was something wrong with it, is because on a normal day, I would have never asked him, who was that? But I think I asked because the flash of red was wrong. And in my head, like it had no clear coat to it. The red was more maroon than bright.
So
But
it
because
wasn't
of the
like
way I was
Candace's
standing,
Subaru red. It
yeah,
wasn't
not
Candace's
like that.
Subaru red. Nothing like that. It was more of an old color.
I wouldn't say
Darker color.
old or decrepit or anything. I would say that it lacked the clear coat shine. And then
No, she stated that she heard a noise, and her son went out to check the property lines. So then she texted Andy, I think it was 2:36 was the time. Don't quote me on that, but it was close to there. It was like 2:30. She stated a noise woke her up. So I'm assuming it was about 2:30 that her and her son went out to check the property lines. Then Chad Arnold shows up, right? Says he sees Candace. That property's big. If they're checking property lines, they would have seen who was out there at that time. That's what I've been screaming. She seen a flash of red go up the driveway the same time the telephone pole is being hit. Chad Arnold's in the area. There's a flash of red. Jody Sue seen. She seen something. That's my opinion. Do I think she has anything to do with Summer going missing? No. Do I think she's protecting someone? In my opinion, 100%.
On top of that, I remember thinking like that wasn't right because I know their cars. It's like I know that the little white truck, you know, there's a run and go first. The gravel sounds different in the road down there. I know Candace's mom's Suburban when it goes up, and the back is a little heavier. I can, you know, I know the noises. And then Candace's Subaru does like a 2.5 thing before it.
The only problem with all that is there's one discrepancy. The picture of Summer in the car was taken at 3:09. My question is, was Candace home before that? Was she home before 3:09? Was that picture taken after whatever happened? It's a thought.
Change the traction and it swaps over to whatever particular traction control that Subaru has. And so to me, it didn't sound right. It also did not complete the curve. Like there is a way you go back there. So I was like, well, okay, well, maybe it's just where they've had to pull in further back or something, but it didn't even go far enough for that in my head. And I thought that's a little odd, but maybe they're, you know, I just, you know, but when I asked my son and he goes, it's the neighbors, and he was kind of down into my right and I was up into his left. So I was a little further up, the foliage kind of started.
And if Candace wasn't home with Summer then, what was the flash of red going up the driveway around 2:33? Because that's the noise she heard that her and her son went out to check, in my opinion.
So I assumed he had a review, but I think he also assumed because of the red, it was just the neighbors, and that's what he kind of says is he just assumed. So that's what he told me. And we didn't think anything else about it. We went on back up to the cabin, continued whatever. And then not long after that, I started, and then in between all of these things that day, as we were sitting there, we were joking, laughing, being loud. And what happens is, we were being really loud. There is this scream, and it just kind of stops us all. It was such a weird and loud and bright sound that it.
So the noise that took her outside to check the lines had nothing to do with the scream. She comes back in, she sees a flash of red, and then there's a scream. This doesn't make sense. We don't go checking property lines around here just because we hear a car. Well, okay, she uses the words hypervigilant because of the shit that happened the day before with Jackie Dobbs. So she was checking to see if Jackie came back. So she had a reason to be listening, right? But then a noise loud enough at 2:30 wakes her up, around 2:30. She messages Andy, I heard a noise. Her and her son go check property lines. She goes back in, and then there's a scream. Pretty much. Yeah. Okay.
And we looked at each other and I was like, what is that? What was it? You know, and the kids made it go, well, it's the kids. Or it was the kids. And I was like, no, it's not, because my first thought is it's the boys. It's never, it was not, it's summer. Because in my head, I know, because you think, well, kids playing, you think picking on each other, you think something, right? Your thought is not, and Summer's never down that low. You don't hear her like that. I mean, I do hear her. You'll hear when they're all revved up and like, you know, whatever and things, but not like the boys, because the boys play out further and, you know, they're a little bit more boisterous and things. But I'm like, that's not the kids, you know, and because my first thought is the boys, not Summer. And so, but my daughter makes it up first and she gets to the cabin doors first. She sticks her head out and she's like, yeah, Mom, it's the kids. I can still hear it. And she's like, it's muffled. Those were her words from the get-go, and they remain so. And the way she was still hearing it was like it was muffled, and then she says she could hear like a car or something, and then it was still muffled like it was leaving the road. And so it just, and I tried to dismiss it. I was like, that had to be like, even though I knew the cutters and 3 people had cut out at 3, I was like, you know, that door slam we heard, like it had to be, you know, like one of Candace's dogs getting too close to.
And that's another thing. There was also a door slam in between there. We'll have to listen to the 16 videos to get the whole timeline. I'll start playing those tonight. They're long. It'll take us a couple nights to get through. But yeah, she heard the door slam, and she describes the door slam as coming from Simpson, which is also the Thompson's driveway, where something did something to a utility pole that caused the line holding the pole up to break and the utility pole to tip over, but not fall. Nobody's electric went out. That was confirmed by Ellie, Fred's sister, and Fred. Nobody's electric went out, but the pool was damaged. She hears a car door in the same direction. This is all within that 2:30, 3:30 hour. Chad Arnold getting there. The times have changed from 3 to 4 several times with Fred. It's just a matter of putting all that together, in my opinion. You know, there's a creator that is kin to the Thompsons down there. No, I didn't know that. Which creator is it, Act Right? That's interesting. I know there's one related to the Dykes, Jeremy Pell.
That whoever it was had slammed the door and they've kicked them. They've done whatever. But I knew it wasn't a dog. I knew it wasn't. You know, you don't live in places like we do and not know your animal sounds. But I didn't know what else to. And I gotta tell you, it's.
You just chalked it up to the boys playing, and maybe they were fighting or doing something and just
Not
made a
even
weird
that.
sound.
I knew better than it being that as well. You know, and that's why I said that's not the kids, because it wasn't one of the sounds the boys make. It was not theirs, and I knew that immediately. It wasn't the right tone for it. It wasn't them. That's why I said, no, it's not. When they said, it's the kids, I was like, no, it's not. Because I knew their tones. I knew this not to be any of the boys.
How much longer after that? Just take a deep breath, honey. It's not your fault. And don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. I see it in your face. Don't do that to yourself. Don't make me cry. I'm squelching
Look, I
because
have
I
moments every
cry
day, and I'm not a what if or a I could have person, but
hard.
this is one of those, like, I've done it almost every day, and I'm getting a little better at it, but it's like I feel like because of what was going on with the property at the time and the things that were happening over there with us, like the survey stuff and me running lines and the tires, placing those in a spot that if somebody was watching it had blocked them from doing so. I feel like they've seen this flurry of activity, and they, like us, may not have known that property was for sale. So had it been left alone until the last minute when whoever showed up, they would have never known. And then the access to summer, or they're watching spots that have been blocked off like that day one, second one, and they'd never had a chance. But where they saw me moving on the banks and all the flurry of movement and the trespassing and posted signs and the tires going up, they knew something was wrong. Time was running out and felt like they had a limited window. And I feel like I could have potentially pushed up whatever happened to summer. And it moved these
No,
people's timeline up, and it is not a good feeling in my soul.
I understand that. I
And then it's like
understand.
I know
I
with the
understand.
scream,
I
it's like I
understand
couldn't have
that.
gotten down the hill in a quick enough period to have done anything in the shape I was in at that point. Um,
Right.
but I could have gotten far enough down, I think, to have seen something had I immediately jetted out. Maybe I could have at least heard what type of engine or something. I don't know. It's an everyday what if.
Right. I have a lot of those what ifs too, and we can't do that to ourselves. But what we are allowed is to put our voice out here without it being deleted and us being blocked for putting our voice out here and telling the truth about the community and things and events. From the moment that you heard that scream until, how did you find out that Summer was missing, and how long after that scream that you heard was it that you found out that Summer was missing?
The scream happened. There was a message between and I'm just gonna refer to him as Baltimore because it's easier for me right now.
I
And
understand.
um and I know it sounds childish and weird, but I'm just having so anyway. Um so there was messages between him and I. He had asked well, we were outside on the banks for it, but it was 4:52 that I responded, and it was, I'm sitting here with the kids doing whatever, and that was at 4:52. But I knew that we had been out on the bank for a little while, so I knew that the scream happened. I've kind of always placed it at like 4:42. Could have been as early as 4:30 because I'm not sure exactly how long we were out on the bank after the scream. So somewhere between 4:30, 4:42. The scream happened. Um, and then I responded to Baltimore around 4:52. And then I usually got off around 5:30 and was in by 6. However, he was supposedly working late that day and was running behind. And so he had messaged that he was going to be late. And so I had already gotten ready because I'd expected a 5:30, 6 o'clock timeline. So when he messaged that, I was like, well, it's okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and, go on down. Because and I think he had messaged and was like, well, I'll be on my way in a minute. And I was like, well, okay. And I knew from that point forward it would be less than 30 minutes, but around the 30-minute mark before he made it to the house. So I was gonna walk down the driveway, meet him, and then continue on doing what we needed to do for the evening. And so at the top of our driveway, we lose Wi-Fi signal at a curve right before you start the descent. So I sent the last message to him saying, well, I'm going to go ahead and go on down to where I'm going to mess with my flowers till you get here. At this point, I started hearing Candace. I think that was around 6.
Two fucking tiger lilies. How long does it fucking take you to mess with 2 tiger lilies? And do you know they die quickly? They're not even a flower you would mess with. They're like wildflowers. They come from a bulb.
I started hearing Candace holler for Summer. And I knew by, around the 3rd call, something was really, really not okay. Like and the more she called as I went down the driveway, it was definitely not okay. And I reached the bottom. The boys are starting, and I'm like, this is wrong. I immediately started clicking after the 3rd call in my head. Anyways, I was going down the driveway, and she had reached that 3rd call, and Summer hadn't answered. I knew, and I started putting together the scream with. And I'm like, oh no, and then, more calls for Summer from the boys and Candace. And so at the bottom, I dropped my purse. I'm trying to holler. I start looking as I get to the bottom of her driveway and things. I try to scream up at her, and she can't hear me. Knew it was wasting time, and so I quit trying to get a hold of Candace by screaming and just went looking for Summer. And so, I'm looking in the creeks, the tiles start to enter the creek on the left side. And I hear Candace come down the driveway. I'm starting to, and what I think, is her with somebody in the car talking to him, but it turns out it was actually Donnie on the phone with her. Oh, and so I jumped back out the creek, Candace, and into the roadway, and Candace stops.
I'm going to stop there because I have a lot to say about that. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. I'm going to leave it here. My dog's rah-rahing in the background. He wants out so he can howl. I'm going to rewind this just a little bit, and we're going to start here tonight. I have questions about you jumping out of the creek, Jody Sue. Why would you jump out of the creek? Why were you in the creek? You see, it doesn't make sense. What did you see between those hours? Where did the scream come from? You say ask the right questions. What are the right questions? Tell us. Why is it we got to ask them? All right, guys. Here, I'm going to do this right here with you guys. We're going to go back. Where are we at? 116. I'm going to go back. 115. Right there's good. I'm going to split it and get rid of this. We have 45 minutes left. That's where we'll start when I talk about Summer tonight after Quentin, because I'm going to come on to go over the trial, I'm going to say somewhere between 3 and 5. And then I'll come back later tonight. We'll leave off here and we'll start the first 16. I think it's a good place to start. Let's compare things Jody had said. Did they change? I don't think they've changed. I don't think Jody's lying. I don't think she had anything to do with Summer. Do I think she lies? Yes. Do I think lies have come out since in a way to protect somebody? Yes. But do I think these 2 interviews are lies? No. I just think they're not full truths. But it's 5 minutes to 6. The dog's driving me crazy. I don't know if you can hear him huffing behind me. There he goes. I'm going to go let him out, start breakfast. I'll see you guys between 3 and 5 for Quentin, and I'm probably about 9 or 10 tonight for Summer. Talk to you all later. Peace and love. Work.